Hey, what's up guys, Tony here, and here is another game of Black Ops 2, and this is going to be the game mode Hardpoint on the map Slums. I think that's the name of the map. I was getting in the habit of calling it Havana 2.0 because of the fact that it reminds me a lot of Havana from Black Ops 1, and the colorful, it's got the stonework, cobblestone roads and the colorful buildings. Do you see that panic knife? I was like, what was he doing there? You'll see another panic knife, and it makes me wonder what he saw in his screen compared to what I saw on my screen, because obviously I was 1.5 miles away. It wasn't even like he was running sort of like in a diagonal direction away from me. And there's the geometry term that someone's gonna be like, it's that adjacent or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, I wonder what he saw, because connections, to be honest, connections are the one thing that everyone keeps talking about right now. It's bad connections this, bad connections that. There are ways to quote unquote fix your connection by when you search, your search preferences should be best instead of normal. Or I don't even know what the last one is. I couldn't even imagine there's one that just says shitty, Look for shitty games. But connections seem to be the one thing that everyone's talking about right now. And it's really the one thing that I kind of want to avoid, because it's kind of like the elephant in the room, like everyone is talking about it, and you're really just beating a dead horse by talking about the same damn thing over and over again. I experienced lag. In my last video I sort of outlined a conspiracy theory, if you will, as to what I think is the cause of these Modern Warfare 3 to Black Ops 2 consistency and their shitty connections. So I don't really want to go ahead and rehash that again, just because I don't want to, because then it makes me out to be like a whining, cranny little biatch. And that's not what I am. So, but what I want to do is talk about how I fail with some of these kill streaks here. But I didn't know that I had that sentry gun, and so when I went to pull out the Hellfire missile, that popped up. I was like, what? And I didn't really know where to put it, because I guess is a good transition into the game mode. This is, like I said, it's Hardpoint, and for those of you guys who know, and you guys have been around my channel for a while, I really like playing like team battles. I like objective gameplay. I really feel that I get the most satisfaction out of playing these these sort of PTFOing, basically, in a nutshell. But also, I mean, playing with my friends. That's really the biggest thing, is I get a real kick out of playing with people that I know, and having more of a social interaction than just getting online and playing, because I mean, I'm not that kind of guy. I don't just get on to play and for the sake of playing, So I like playing with friends. So here's the thing, is like my go-to games. Oh, here's the other panic knife. Oh, I don't know what you're thinking. And I think it's coming from a year of Battlefield. You start to get a giggle when you see in Battlefield people panic knifing, because you really have to make a concerted effort to panic knife. It's not just a panic plunge down on the R3 button and you're swiping at someone. It's like an actual, you gotta go panic knife someone and hit R2. So we all, I don't know, you guys who are Battlefield players, you probably get a giggle out of that just because of the fact you're like, oh, that's a Call of Duty person freaking out. So anyways, going back on what I was saying, my go-to game modes typically in Call of Duty is Domination. I really enjoy Domination because of the teamwork and the coordination that is acquired, the call-outs, and you can get very good at what you're doing in a game of, say, Domination. But after a while, any game mode, and this goes with Conquest or Sector Control for Medal of Honor, where it gets old. And after a while, it's just like, yeah, I've done it, I've played it, I know the map inside and out, and you lose the fun factor because of the fact that you dominate a team so completely that you just have them spawn trapped. And spawn trapping is one of those things where it's built into the game, it's a part of the game. A lot of people love doing it. I find it boring. I really do. And and here's the difference: is I've had a lot of people, you can spawn trap very easily in Battlefield, especially on a map like No Shore Canals. You can push the U.S. troops all the way to back to their ship, or you can push the Russians back to their spawn, and you can just have a fun time racking up kills. And some people love that. I don't. I would rather have a constant struggle with the enemy team as opposed to just completely dominating them and just beating them down. So where that brings me here is to some of these game modes that are new to me. I don't know if these are completely new to the Call of Duty franchise as far as say Modern Warfare 3, because I didn't play Modern Warfare 3. I mean, I did. I played it for like all of maybe 3 weeks, if that. See, this is the beauty of Call of Duty right there. Just spray at everything, everybody that's around, and hope to God you get a bunch of kills. It's kind of too easy, you know. I've had a lot of conversations in the last 48 hours about how easy this game is compared to, you know, a game like Battlefield that requires more skill due to recoil and, you know, bigger map knowledge and stuff like that. But anyways, going back to what I was saying, this game mode Hardpoint I really like, because of the fact that it is objective based. It is something that it is fast paced, which I really do like. The only thing, my only thing about this game mode is that the spawns can be kind of wonky after. You're just like, wait, why did you spawn there? Like, where did you come from? So it's got a semi Team DM element to it as far as the weird spawns, but I like the idea of having something to do, and I like the mobility of this game, because you have to move around, you have to go from one objective to the next, and take people out and not let them cap. And so I really do enjoy that a lot, because you essentially you can't spawn trap anybody, just because of the fact the nature of the game mode is that the objective moves, the hardpoint moves throughout the map, and at what could be their spawn at one point suddenly is no longer their spawn on the next point, you know. So that's cool. The variability of the game, I think, is what it's cool. But it's also objective based. You know, you got to get somebody to, as I see it, you really got to get someone who's going to grow a pair and jump on that objective and take it. Because in a game like this where you're throwing 100 killer drones up in the air like that, and people are like that guy, he was walking around the corner, boom, dead. You know, it discourages, from what I've seen so far, it discourages people from wanting to play the objective, which sucks, especially for an objective player like myself. I want to play the objective, but you know what? I'm afraid. I'm afraid I'm gonna have a lightning strike dropped on my ass. I'm gonna have a, you know, what is it? Stealth helicopter flying. Oh, watch this. I thought that was so weird. I was like, wait, what's going on? Oh my god. Anyway, so kind of lost track of what I was saying, but yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So you get these players who are a little bit afraid of playing the objective, and they do shit like that. They corner camp, and I've watched this like 3 or 4 times now, and every time, like when it happened in game, I had no idea the dude was there, and watching now, I'm like, man, how'd I miss that guy? But it comes down here. Okay, so anyway, so that's why what I'm liking about this game right now is the different game modes. Obviously, the connection is still leaves something to be desired, which is normal, you know, especially the first week or so. So I don't really want to hammer this game too hard about the connection, because it seems like every Call of Duty game, or every game in general, has these issues with the connection. So I don't want to hammer that down, because it could get better, and I really hope it does. I know a lot of people are giving Treyarch some grief because of the fact that this is like a last minute port to PlayStation 3 instead of a fully developed game. I don't know anything about that, and I really don't want to get into that, but it's interesting to listen to, because there were people who were very passionate about this. You know, it wouldn't put it past me. It seems like history now, but it seems like it's consistent that PlayStation sort of gets shafted when it comes to Call of Duty. So I just hope that things get better. That's kind of my hope, is that things will get better, and the game will become more enjoyable, because it is fun. It really is a lot of fun, especially when it's going your way and you get a good connection and things feel fair. That actually kind of brings me up to a funny story, because last night Medal of Honor was, I don't know, Medal of Honor was being really weird. Like, we all got kicked out. I was playing last night with EJ West and Akuma, and we all got kicked out. All of us lost connection at the same time, and so we got into a match, and we were all by ourselves. And so I was like, well, looks like Medal of Honor servers are down or whatever. So Tan was online, and so we linked up and we started playing together. And so he was in a game of free-for-all, so it was like joinable. So I joined him, and I was playing, and I was just like, whoa, this game is a lot of fun. Like, I'm killing people, the connection feels great, I'm having a good time, these players aren't, like, it feels even, like things are feeling good. And I joined the game late, and I was catching up, and it was really a great time. And then it was almost at the end of the game where I was still on Skype with Wes, Akuma and EJ, and I was like, oh my god. He goes, because I was telling them, like, oh man, I should be recording this, I'm having such a great game. And I was like, oh my god. And they're, what? And they asked me what. I was like, I'm I'm playing combat training, man. I was like having this great experience playing combat training. I had no idea. Anyways, guys, that's all my time. But I want to know before I go, how are you guys liking the game now that it's been out for, you know, here it is, the first week going on the first weekend? Does your opinions change now that the game is sort of settling down, or do you guys still feel the same about it? So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll talk to you guys later.